Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic, and today we're trying to grind our way back up to Mythic because the season reset, we're back at Platinum, and this is the deck that I felt like would help get me there at least some of the way today. And I think that this is legitimately the best deck in Standard, and let me tell you why, because I know there's a lot of people there's a lot of decks that do beat this. There's a lot of different decks out there. I think Mono Red is very close, but this deck I think is the one that beats the most other decks out there. We've seen it. It's Jeskai Fires with KERUGA, which totally adds a huge new element to the deck, mainly with its companion cost here. So the companion, you have to start your deck. Starting deck contains only cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater and land cards, which means that we're no longer running, the deck is no longer running Aether Gust in the main board. You know, it's no longer running those 2-drops. So there's a bunch of other things that it used to run just here and there for the 2-drop slot, but it fits so well with Fires of Invention, because once we get the Fires of Invention out, everything we get to cast is basically, we get to cast 2 cards for free every turn, as long as we have enough lands to make their cast in cost. Then we get to cast them for free. All right, so Brazen Borrower, all of these early game cards that are just really powerful for Bone Crusher Giants, because Bone Crusher Giant is just a really bonkers card. It's so good. But that helps them have some removal, helps the deck have removal for the early game on turn 2. Same with Brazen Borrower, just a little bit of removal. We want to be able to have a 1 or 2 of these in our hand every time, or a Deafening Clarion to take out the early game decks. And then Teferi Time Raveler, just because it's busted. It's really good. It's amazing. I hate the card personally, but it's really good in the deck. So it helps us get to our Fires of Invention, which then Fires of Invention comes down, and we typically are playing like either Bone Crusher Giant to set up, Sphinx of Foresight, maybe Shadow the Skies to destroy everyone. And then on turn 5 is where everything gets really crazy, awesome, and fun. We get our Cavalier of Flame, we get our KERUGA, which can come down. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card for each other permanent you control with converted mana cost 3 or greater. And so it's each other card, right? Yeah, each other permanent you control. And so if we have our Bone Crusher Giant out, we have our Fires of Invention, we have something, this is at least going to be coming down and drawing 2 cards for us. And we've seen from even in Modern, there's that like a card that comes down and draws you 2 cards and is still a body on the battlefield, like, is really good. That's something that is played for, if the stats are like 2/2 and flying, that's a Cloud Blazer, is still played quite often. KERUGA can come down and draw us 3 or 4 cards fairly consistently. I'd say at least 2 cards consistently. And it's just a really good card. The fact that we can also then give it +1/+0 and haste until end of turn, that we can give it trampling with our Kenrith, with all the extra mana that we have from Fires of Invention, that we can just do really cool bonkers things with this deck. And so I've been really impressed with this deck so far. That doesn't mean it's going to win every single game, but I do think it is the best deck in Standard, and we're going to go ahead and test it out and try to start grinding our way up to victory. And so yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. A couple other things on the top end, because we have Fires of Invention, Inspired Ultimatum's a little bit easier for us to cast, but it still is just a good card if we don't have as much going on the battlefield. Being able to gain 5 life, kill something, or even do damage to face, and then draw 5 cards can get us back in the game. I've seen this actually turn a board completely around, where I could go digging for the Shadow of the Skies off a board that is completely busted. I can't do anything against their board, and then all of a sudden drawing 5 cards, gaining the 5 life that I need to be able to block safely and find the shatters to reset is really good. Dream Trawler on the top end, if you can give it haste and draw a bunch of cards with KERUGA and Kenrith, that kind of stuff on one turn, you can actually swing in with like a 7/5 flyer pretty easily with the turn it comes down, which is, it's really good. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how this does for us, and wish me luck. And I feel honored. We're up against the wonderful Andy. Whoa. All right, this is the perfect hand right here. This is actually like exactly what you want. A tap land for turn 1. We get to hold up Shock for turn 2. Shock in the Teferi to help us dig for our land. We have Teferi for, or sorry, Deafening Clarion for anything there. Fires of Invention. It's so good. Oh, it's Hap land. We do need to hit our lands, and I do think it's okay to not hold up our Bone Crusher Giant against the deck that we're up against. So Yorion, typically a little bit more higher costed type of things. This is going to be one of the harder matchups for this deck. I've actually been, so I do think that there's some really powerful Yorions. Yorion itself is a really good card. It comes down, it blinks a lot of things, and you probably end up drawing 2 to 3 cards. I just think KERUGA does the same thing for less. Like you don't get a flyer, but you don't have to like build around it as much, in my opinion, my professional opinion. All right, it looks like they may have been holding up a counter spell. Let's go ahead and See if they want to take this. All right, Owner of the Sea. We're not going to bounce that. I'm debating if I do want to bounce something, though. Because if they just have, like, Murderous Rider, this is Grixis. I've not seen a Grixis Yorion yet.
Let's slow this down.
So we may just want to draw a card just for the sake of having more interaction. So let's go ahead and draw a card. Their deck is all about bringing things back to the battlefield. So if we can, we're just going to try to draw our cards. We don't ever really want to blink a lot of their things. I mean, to slow them down, yes, will be nice. But like Omen of the Sea is just so much value if we give it back to them. And a lot of their things have ETB effects. All right, let's see if they... Well, they can't counter stuff now because of Tifri. All right, so I could go for like Bone Crusher Giant, something like that right here, just to play it out. I could go for a second Fires of Invention just to be a little bit safer, have KERUGA come down and draw a few more cards next turn. That might be an okay play, just to kind of give us a little bit more safety there. Still keep up the interaction for later, because the shock is useful sometimes. They're going to be running things like Fibblethip, whatnot. Although Fibblethip is not something great to hit because it shuffles away and you actually lose this. All right, we're up against a Grixis Fires, I think. Drawn from Dreams, typically what you see in a Grixis Fire deck. They don't have the Cavaliers to draw, or I guess they do actually. What am I thinking? Drawn from Dream is a good card in our deck here as well. It could be. I don't know. I'm not as big a fan of it. All right, let's go ahead and tick up again with Teferi.
Don't worry, I got this.
They're not going to have the same types of board wipes. They might have like Storm's Wrath though. All right, so Sacred Foundry tapped. Let's go ahead and get down Sphinx of Foresight and KERUGA draw 4. Yeah, KERUGA draw 4 is so good. It's so amazing. Shark Typhoon as well, which we can do instant speed if ever we need to. So we'll pass the turn. Because we have some things to start casting with it, and I don't think they're going to have as much interaction, especially if Teferi comes down to interact with Shark Typhoon. I actually may prioritize getting it out on the battlefield next turn, just to start creating 4/4 sharks, 3/3 sharks, those kinds of things. It'll be good. Oh, Thought Erasure. They're definitely taking the Shark Typhoon here, so might as well get a shark out of it. So X2. Yeah, that's a bummer. Oh, now there's Dream Trawler. Oh, all right. Dream Trawler probably gonna get taken. Yeah, there goes Dream Trawler. That's fine. We get in for a big swing. They may be holding up some sort of removal. They kept whatever it was on top. Not great for us. Teferi can bounce their Fires of Invention, at least slow them down a bit. They probably have removal, like Heartless Act or something. Okay, yeah, Heartless Act. All right, we get a swing in for 6. That is great. No more Fires of Invention. We have all of the ones that we want, and way more. All right, so let's go ahead and Temple of Triumph. Try to dig for something. Kenrith off the top. Yes. All right, so I'm debating if I just want to like try to gain life here with this Deafening Clarions. They're probably pretty dead in this matchup. So let's go ahead and I guess I could have drawn. Did I have a chance for lethal then? I had lethal with Kenrith. I could have played Bone Crusher Giant and Kenrith, give them all haste and swing in. So I did miss. Again, I'm not the best pilot for this deck, by the way. Let's go ahead and swing in. I think at this point I'm just I don't want this on the battlefield for them to deal with. So let's go ahead and just shock their face. Play a third Fires of Invention. I did miss lethal. I was thinking that Teferi wouldn't be. Yeah. I'm so sorry, guys. Forgive me. I believe we can still pull this off. The fact that we get 2 things on the next turn, they're going to have to board wipe and then deal with these or something to have a shot. We get to bounce Yorion or whatever they play. Okay, Liliana.
I am the master.
Make a sacrifice 2 things. That's fine. Yep, that's totally fine. All right, sweet. So we get Kenrith, we get Bone Crushy. So Bone Crusher Giant for freeze. Kenrith, give it haste swinging. All right, all attack face. Yep. All right, still worked out. Yeah, I did miss lethal. I could have drawn into the Kenrith and then did that exact same play last turn and gotten enough damage to swing for the win, I believe. All right, we don't have our Fires of Invention, but really good hand. And this is a nice thing about KERUGA as well, is if we do just have Bone Crusher, Brazen Borrower, on turn 5 playing KERUGA, drawing 2 more, trying to dig for the Fires of Invention is not a bad play at all. And so, yeah, we'll do it. Deafening Clarion looking really good. All the Bone Crushers looking really good. Do I want to go grab white mana now is the question. Let's try to hit this Deafening Clarion. That is a thing I could do. I could wait till turn 4. I don't want to shock ourselves at any point against this deck. That would be bad. Runaway Steamkin. Okay. Alright, stop the Steamkin. Pass the turn. There's something we said about just like Brazen Borrowing it partway through. But that's they still have a chance of playing a lot of instant speed things and getting extra mana out of it. Alright, yeah, taking 4 down to 14. I guess if we're not grabbing it now, it's fine. I could just play out the Bone Crusher Giant. It does die to the Deafening Clarion as well. Alright, let's pass the turn. Wait till they go to combat. If they play land, they could have Embercleave here. Yeah, okay. We don't want Embercleave to even come onto the battlefield. We'll take 2 more down to 12. Yep. We do need to find our Fires of Invention and things like that. Shatters the Sky. We don't have mana for that yet. Two cards left. Brazen Borrowers for later turns. So let's go ahead and Deafening Clarion. I think it's still worthwhile here. We don't want to take any more damage. So like Robber the Rich would probably be the worst thing. All right. Sphinx of Foresight. Now we get to start scrying. I dig it. Yeah, we'll keep it to Fairy. All right, I guess we could probably go for some better things. We have lots of creatures. We get to hold up removal with Brazen Borrower. So I'd rather just dig for the Fires of Invention or our Cavaliers or Kenrith. Kenrith is so good against this matchup. So yeah, Hollow Fountain tapped, Bone Crusher Giant, swing in for 4, hold up Brazen Borrower. Down to 16. Oh, they got an Embercleave. Perfect. Okay, pass the turn. They are going to play a creature. We get to bounce the Embercleave in response to them equipping it, paying for it. That's nice. Alright, stomps her face. Cool. Yeah, so I want them to pay for the Embercleave before we bounce it. I don't want to target this necessarily. We do get in for 8 damage. Pass to my turn. Fires of Invention. Oh, and that means we can't cast stuff at instant speed anymore. Which we don't have to play this right now. I can still keep it here, but just kind of play out how we want to. Being able to cast things at instant speed is very nice. Yeah, Yeah, I want to be able to hold up Brazen Borrower. So KERUGA doesn't look as good at the moment. So we'll go Bone Crusher Giant number 2. We will just swing in, see if they want to go for the block. Down to 8 past the turn. And actually, we bounce the Ember Cleave after they go to combat because they have enough mana. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. It's hard to count the lands. They have 4. All right, so let them attack in first. Bounce the Ember Cleave. I think we just take it. Yeah, opponent keeps up. I was gonna say that should be game, regardless of what line we take there. Okie dokie, up against Salvi Burr. I did kind of net deck this deck, but I added in a different land base than it had, and I really like it. So we're gonna keep this. I like having the black mana in here. I just have 1 copy of this for the occasional times that you get to use Kenrith's bring back things from the graveyard ability. It's pretty good. All right, let's go here. We do want Cavalier Flame. That is like our best finisher once we get Fires of Invention out. What are we up against? All right, we're up against the mirror match. I think Teferis can go to the bottom then. All right, Triome, tap, pass the turn. The Deafening Clarion is going to be a little bit dead here. It does kill. The mirror match is a little bit difficult, actually. I'm not sure what's the best. Because we don't have Aether Gust anymore. We also know they don't have Aether Gust anymore. So that was typically the best way to kind of bounce the Fires of Invention. Now it's probably Teferi. And so we'll probably keep Teferi's life total high. Yeah. Yeah. Second. Yeah, so tick him up past the turn. They could have Brazen Borrower.
I am not making this up as I go.
On this turn. Then they won't be able to interact with the Fires of Invention very easily. Teferi of their own.
Stand by and watch. Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
I've not done the hero thing before. Wish I was that cool. We want to keep this out of stomp range. We also want to be able to hit their Fires of Invention. So tick up. We do play Fires of Invention. We play Sphinx of Foresight. Pass the turn. Hopefully we just have enough good things that we can win. Next turn we get Cavalier KERUGA swing in. They probably are bouncing Fires of Invention, so we only get 1 of them now. The big thing here is if they have the Shatter the Skies or not. Shatter the Skies gets a reset. Elspeth Conquers Death. Yeah, actually, I think we keep that. Now we get to bounce and we get to kill it anyway. All right, so we go for Fires. First off. No reason to pay. Tapped. All right, so we get 1 more spell. I can bounce, kill Teferi, get rid of the way for them to bounce. I could also just go face. They could have an instant speed Shatter the Skies. And then Elspeth Conquers Death hits their Fires of Invention for next turn. This also gets us more card draw. So this is, I think, the best plan. We'll KERUGA for more card draw. Like, we do have a couple dead cards. We could get rid of Deafening Clarion and Temple of Epiphany, but Cavalier Flame technique draws more when we have more in hand. Swing in. Yeah, opponent keeps it up. All right, sweet. Yeah, being on the play there was really nice. And then we did just kind of, we had all the interaction that was useful. Like we only had one dead card with the Deafening Clarion. And even that can be useful late game to just kill a bunch of Bone Crusher Giants, swing in, gain a lot of life. As long as we have the right pieces on board, we should be winning it. Those look like, that's a cool looking name. I don't even know what it is. It's a bunch of fours or something, but it looks cool. Double Teferi is good. Shocks are okay. Dig for Fires of Invention. We have some removal. I dig it. Kinda. Let's see if opponents deciding to keep their hand or not. So keep this. What deck, if this isn't the best deck in Standard, what deck do you guys think is the best deck in Standard? Because I think that there are a lot of really good decks. I just feel like for the sake of it wins against the most other decks in Standard, I feel like this deck will consistently win against the most different other decks. Because it's just a really good deck. It's really solid. It's so explosive. Fire's Invention is hard to interact with because you get to do stuff with it the turn it comes out. And really good things. Alright, we get to balance the guy, so that's nice. I'm assuming this is control. So Steam Vent's tapped. Pass the turn. No sense in shocking anything, I don't think. Yeah, they're just going to hold up counter spells. We are going to try for the Teferi since we have two of them. If Teferi hits the battlefield, it's like they can't counter things anymore. We win. It opens veto. Cool. I guess we just try for it again. We could wait till they tap out or something, but meh. Alright, we need Fires of Invention. Alright, go to fairy number 2. Absorb. Alright, well, we got some counter spells out of the hand. Inspired Ultimatum will be a good reset, potentially. Let's go ahead and get lands out of our deck. We'll grab... I think mountains typically are the best thing to grab here. With the ultimatum in hand, things like that. We have enough blue mana. KERUGA doesn't draw us anything at the moment, but it's a big body. I think we just shock face, play Bone Crusher. Hopefully both resolve. Alright, they probably have Shadow the Skies and such. Thirst for Meaning, draw some cards. Azorius Control. This is one of the matches, like, the reason this deck was really even around is because it's one of the few decks that's good against Fires of Invention. But with Teferi in the format, I feel like it's so hard to have a really good deck. Alright, that's bad. We can try for Elspeth Conquers Death. Get backer to Teferi. I mean, there's nothing else worth hitting or worth doing, so we'll go for Elspeth Conquers Death. The fact that it still does things even after they give it hexproof is fine. So like if there's anything to try to target a Dream Troller with, it's probably Elspeth Conquers Death, especially when you have things in the graveyard. Let's rid of Shadow the Skies. Alright, swing in. Probably get blocked, or just take it. Yeah, they'll probably want to block a Cavalier later. So what we're looking for is probably double Deafening Clarion that can not be countered. So play another Dream Trawler, and then we're going to top deck it. Life will be great. Yeah, it's really hard for us to come back at this point. They're just going to be able to race better than us. Things cost more. KERUGA, I guess. We'll play out a land so we don't get quenched, just in case. Actually, Castle Venturous is good. Yeah, KERUGA. Draw 2 if it resolves. Brazen Borrower can at least tap him down in response. Down to 20, pass the turn. Being able to get KERUGA back with Elsewhere Conqueror's Death is cool too. Alright, they get a swing in for a bunch and a half. In the air. We can gain 5 when we need to. Down to 5. So if we do get another Deafening Clarion, I'm assuming they're going to have counter spells, but we can like play it, gain some life. Yeah, I think the game is probably over. All right, so go to Fairy first. We have enough to play Elsewhere Conqueror's Death afterwards. Yeah, that's probably game. I guess we have Shatter this guys, so go ahead and attack in. We'll try for the Shatter this guys. Sorry, I kind of forgot that we had that. Okay, down to 21. Shatter. Alright, they have the other counter. Alright, good game. It is over. We actually drew a lot of the pieces that help against Dream Trawler at the end there. The Shadow of the Skies and everything. But not much you can do about them just, you know, having everything. Alright, Deafening Clarion into Fires of Invention. So like we have the line here. We're on the draw. I'm going to keep it. This is probably one of the worst hands you can have. But like if we're up against an aggro deck, which it looks like we are, this Deafening Clarion on turn 3 will be sweet. Even on the I guess I should have waited, but we'll just grab the planes now. Pass the turn. This does have protection against Deafening Clarion. And Teferi, so we need to find a stomp. A way to stomp this guy. Alright. Yeah-oh. Alright, Ozolith probably as well. If we get to Deafening Clarion before they get an Ozolith out, that'll be nice. Okay, we take 4. Get to kill 2 Barkhide Trolls with this Deafening Clarion. Hopefully hit a land. Alright. So Stonecold Serpent, protection from multicolored spells. This is multicolored. You keep it out, swing in for 4. Hopefully they don't have much else going on. Yeah, that's something going on. We can't bounce it with a fairy either. KERUGA's also multicolored. Ooh, man, we're in trouble. Brazen Borrower, however, is a really good spell. So shock, fires. We're just gonna have to deal with Vivian another time. We will bounce. We can't do this. We have to do it now because we can't do instant speed stuff now. They will get a really big Stonecold Serpent, probably with Castle Garenbrig. But hopefully we can just race with all the other big things that we get. Yeah, I think it's our best shot. Keep our life total high. Yeah, they get Castle Garenbrig. This is X6. A 6/6 and 8/8 it's a pretty good thing. It's not too shabby at all. X3, intriguing. We could have at least gone for 4.
My, how you've grown.
No land yet. We can Teferi, hopefully draw into a land into Cavalier. I think it's our best shot. So Teferi.
I am not going to sit this one out.
Bounce Barkhide Troll. Deafening Clarion. Give our guys something next turn. Not hitting lands is really bad when they have a 5/5. It will be turning into a 7/7. If all the things that are, you know, good or not good, that's a not good type of thing. If we hit land, we can Cavalier, Deafening Clarion, pump 2 times, gain a bunch of life.
That's one more
Grab
arrow
Shifting
knocked.
Ceratops. Okay. Use it haste and we're dead. Good game. Alrighty then. Yep. Things went very, very bad there. I feel like things had to go very bad for us to actually lose that matchup. We kept a not as great hand. I think Stone Cold Serpent is actually an underrated card. I think the fact that it is good against Fires of Invention decks makes it even better. Yeah, I think it's a very powerful card. Luke Pedro's who we're up against now. Bring it on. I love just how quick these games are going too. It's been pretty nice. Sphinx of Foresight to help us dig for anything we want. Is Teferi quick enough? Probably. So I guess we keep this, especially on the play. Double Teferi is also not a terrible thing to have. So if, you know, if they start attacking in towards Teferi, we can do other good things. I really like the Shark Typhoon. Let's go ahead and put some lands in front. I think we just want Fires of Invention though. That helps us dig for it. We can create a blocker. I think we drop it. This doesn't help us cast Cavalier of Flame. We could keep 1 land and try to dig for something better here. Like, we have to hit fires. Getting Sphinx of Foresight is really important too though, so we have to have 2 blue mana. I think we just keep them both. We get to play Teferi without shocking ourselves. And then we just are hoping to draw into good things. All good things. Death Touch. Alright, Hollow Fountain tap, pass the turn. Cauldron of Familiar. Alright, yep, just a fairy bounce. I guess Witch's Oven.
You show remorse, I'll show restraint.
Yeah, they just sack whatever else happens, and then we don't get to draw a card. We want to draw a card more than anything. Witch's Oven. It's a good card. Alright, Fires of Invention is the best thing possible for next turn. If we can start making that happen, we should win this game.
Only
down to
time
16.
will tell.
Witch's Oven. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Sphinx of Foresight also not bad. Just a big blocker. We're gonna start. We will be winning the race with 2 of them, especially. Start scrying for the fires. We know they're not playing Heartless Act because it's Obosh. Yara. Alright. So all of these lose life things are really good. They technically, it has to do dealing damage for it to be good against Obosh. Yeah. We block Cauldron Familiar, make him do it now. We at least save 1 point of damage. We can Teferi bounce Ayara. Is that just better than Sphinx of Foresight? Keep Elspeth Conquers Death, I guess. It lets us get rid of Ayara permanently. They're gaining a lot of life here too. The card draw is nice for them. Alright, so Sphinx number 2, scry twice each turn. We can swing in for 8 every turn. I think that we're dead before that happens though. Before we would win there. So dig for Fires of Invention, I think, still. Getting more things onto the battlefield for KERUGA might be worthwhile as well. I think this is better than hitting Witch's Oven. Having this be out in the battlefield, drawing them cards, and putting a bunch of things out in the battlefield. Like, we're going to take 2 here. Yeah, that's not great for us. Land. Woohoo. We could keep it back to try to get them to attack Teferi. We need to find a Deafening Clarion to start gaining life as well. Deafening Clarion would be a good draw. Alright, we'll swing in. We're not going to block Vampire of the Dire Moon if it goes after Teferi. Especially with Elspeth Conquers Death. Even if it only saves us 1 life, it's not bad. Oh gosh. Oh, now they swing in for lots. 4. Youch. Down to 7. Dream Trawler. That is life gain. Alright, well, we go for Elspeth Conquers Death, get rid of Obosh. Obosh. They could be running more in the main deck. So I don't think I can attack in aggressively here, especially with Cauldron Familiar, all the things. We just have to get to Dream Trawler. Once we have Dream Trawler on the battlefield, if we can get a swing with it, we should start winning games. Underworld Dreams. Every time we draw a card, we take 1. Yikes. If we find Deafening Clarion, then keeping the Sphinx of Foresight is absolutely worth it. If we do not, I just want to get rid of that guy. Alright, we'll block Cauldron Familiar. Lets it die. Yep, they get extra stuff here. Nope, 2 at the bottom. Take 1 down to 5. They bring it back once, twice. How much mana do we have? Not enough for really anything else. Alright, Dream Trawler. That kind of counteracts the Underworld Dreams a little bit. But I'm pretty sure we're dead next turn, especially with Ayara being able to come down. Yeah, we needed to find life gain a turn earlier.
Here goes nothing.
Pass the turn. Alright, so they get to sack Cauldron Familiar, bring it back, bring Ayara out. They didn't do it? Alright, that's really weird. Okay, yeah, good game. Yeah, we kept a pretty expensive hand there. Man, I feel like we just lost all of the progress that we gained. Man, that was brutal. We dug pretty deep to try to find that Fires of Invention as well, and just couldn't find it. Couldn't find a Deafening Clarion. Not even a Shadow to the Skies, anything. I probably should have blocked the Vampire of the Dire Moon earlier on just to get rid of it. We have Brazen Bar, we got Bone Crusher, we get to Scry 3. I guess this is keepable. But double tapped land is not great. Are we on the play? Yes. Alright, I like that. Let's go ahead and drop here. Not sure what we're up against, but you can usually tell by what their card art is. That is sweet card art. I don't think I've seen that really. Dig it. Yeah, we'll keep both of those. Temple of Epiphany is a little bit dead, but Castle of Vantress can come in untapped with this. Pass the turn. Triome. Alright, Teamer. Does this mutate stuff? Raisin Borrower can be pretty good against mutate things. Breeding Pool. Righto. Right on. Alright, let's go Castle Vantress, to Fairy. I think we just want to dig for lands here. As many looks at lands as possible. Teferi can be good against some stuff as well. This could be Reclamation as well. So let's just draw a card. We do hit land. Perfect. Give me that fires. All right, yeah, Wilderness Reclamation. Okay. A little bit harder matchup. I mean, it could not be still, but I'm pretty sure this is Teamer Reclamation. Raisin Bar will be pretty nice to hold up. Let's see here. I think we just go Sphinx of Foresight, start getting bodies on the battlefield, start scrying for fires. Alright, Sphinx of Foresight, pass the turn. Having the Castle Vantresses help us a bit, that we can go a bit more into the late game. Number 2, Uro. That's a lot of ramp. It's pretty good. All right, Fires of Invention. Nope. 2 at the bottom. Another Teferi. I can play Cavalier, discard things that aren't really good. I could also play KERUGA. Draw 2.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
I kind of like Cavalier Flames to be able to swing in aggressively, or like immediately. So I guess we play KERUGA here. Not a lot in the graveyard yet. Yeah, we'll go KERUGA. Draw 2. Not too shabby. I actually like all the things that we have. Blast Zone's not looking great for them right now because we have something on every... Whoa, I was not expecting to just a scoop there. Okay. I mean, we were getting the card advantage. If they couldn't get Uro out quickly enough, we were probably going to be winning there. I really didn't expect to just have them scoop, though. That was... I will take it. All right, let's go again. All right, this looks like a decent hand. Lots of good things. We'll keep it. And Sphinx of Foresight is just so good. Although it's a little bit annoying with the Fable Passage. I guess we can, if we have blue mana. We don't have blue mana. Alright, so we keep Fires, we keep Teferi. We use Fires, Fable Passage on turn 2 and try to draw both of these. Turn 3. I guess we could just keep the Fires Invention. Up against a really aggressive deck. So let's go ahead and play out Mountain, pass the turn. If we can stomp on turn 2, especially because we're on the play, we're in a little bit better spot. Pass the turn. This also lets us, I mean, we know what we're drawing, so I guess we're not actually saving lands in the deck. Ooh. See, I'm always tempted just to let that not kill that. It's probably best to kill it. I just always like more card draw, but giving them more card draw as well. We have all the card draw. We don't want to let them have any. All right, pass the turn. I'd love for land off the top here, but we're not gonna hold our breath for it. Teferi bounce will be good. Ooh, Lurrus Knight? What? Oh, that's actually probably really good. Grab Island. Valmar Knight, okay. Definitely Clarion not looking bad. But I think we're gonna just go for the Teferi Time Raveler here. Just try to hit land. If we can hit a land that is very grand. Vulnerable Knight, bounce it. That's not a land. That is not a land. All right. Ooh, we even scried 3 to try to find land earlier too.
We will meet again.
We will meet again. The Stiffening Clarion is going to be nice. All right, let's just play Bone Crusher Giant for now. If they swing in with Valmar Knight, we could just block it and then Deafening Clarion. Alright, let's go. Fires of Invention. If we Deafening Clarion after playing Sphinx of Foresight, we at least get to swing in with 4 damage that gains us life. We hit land, we could also get Kenrith in there to also get hasty and life gainingness. I think that's worthwhile. All right, Sphinx of Foresight as well. Help us dig for that land. Pass the turn. No attacks. Go. They could have Embercleave is the only thing here that is bad for us. Actually, no, they can't because Lurrus. Typically, a Mardu Knight's deck has something like that, but they won't be able to do anything like that here. Okay, pumps there. We block. Just the most damage. There is a 2-mana card that gives things double strike. Oh, and indestructible. Ooh. Alright, so we won't be able to kill Knight of the Even Legion. Actually, once this goes away, we should be able to. Could they have another fight as one? We just want lands, I think, right now. There we go. Alright, so play Kenny. Yep. Good boy, Kenny. Deafening Clarion for free. Wait, did I play the wrong version of it? They have another fight as one. All right, resolve. Haste. Swinging, gain 4. We do have... This is indestructible, though. Just to gain the life, though, because we have another Kenrith, so I'm not as worried about that, but we do probably want it as a blocker. And to be able to draw cards or whatever, gain life. All right, so swing in. The life in here is what's super good. We're probably digging for like a Shadow the Skies now. Dude, fight is one. I've been impressed with it so far. Pass the turn. Up to 19 is a pretty good spot to be in here. They do get Lurrus and maybe something else. I like this deck. I feel like they've got to have a lot of issues with their mana base. But, I mean, that's just a lot of really powerful, good things. Elspeth Conquers Death is looking pretty dead. I mean, it can hit Lurrus, which we probably will as soon as we have a chance to. They can attack in, pump the Knight of the Even Legion. Which is kind of fine with us. Even if they pump, Hopefully we can just find more ways to gain life. We can bring out more hard draw and blockers here. We could just block with Kenrith as well. Play Elspeth Conquers Death, another Kenrith. Nah, we'll see. Your turn, sir. I believe in you. Okay, Shoxin. With Luris, okay. Yeah, now I think it's Elspeth Conquers Death. KERUGA. No attacks, I'm assuming. Alright, let's go ahead and draw a card. Inspired Ultimatum. Okay, give me lands. We could draw a card with Kenrith here. Try to hit the land for Dream Trawler, because Dream Trawler attacking in hastily is so good. We also get KERUGA. Alright, so keep Dream Trawler on top. If we don't hit land somehow off of 3 draws, then we can just Elspeth Conquers Death, hit Luris. Alright. KERUGA. We don't have to have them untapped, right? Yeah, so Temple of Epiphany, scry for, see what we want to draw on top. Bowcrush Giant's not bad. It's not Cavalier or anything like that, though. Alright, so now Dream Trawler for free. Give it haste. We can draw here. Alright, so swing in here, here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say Dream Trawler is being able to swing in hastily. We get to draw another card, do awesome fun things. It's so good. If we had the land beforehand, we could have played Dream Trawler first, then KERUGA, draw an extra card, swing in for a bunch and a half. I have done that before, and it's so good. All right, so I definitely didn't have like the best winning record there, but this deck is just a very powerful deck. I think it's really good if you are looking for a deck to start building towards. Luckily, there's a lot of older cards, so hopefully you already have a few of these. It's fine to go down to like 2 Sphinx of Foresight. I think it does fill up the slot up really well, but you can go like up or Shatters the Skies, whatever else you have in your sideboard or in your wild cards to try to fill this deck up. Because honestly, Fire's Invention, just really good things is really good, surprisingly enough. Yeah. Oh, did I have black mana there at the late game to be able to start getting things back as well? That would have been nice. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.